Husker fan Sam McKewon along with Tom Shatel for Tom Shatel's Press Pass. Nebraska coach Scott Frost and the players talking in advance to the Wisconsin game. That's the first time we've heard from the players since Scott Frost fired 4 of his offensive assistants. There are 2 more games left, and the players seem fairly motivated for that, but I think we all know, Tom, what the big story of the football program is right now, and that's what's going to happen basically the first day after the season is over when they play Iowa, and that's Scott Frost having to hire these 4 offensive coaches. Today, Frost said again, like he said last week, that the offensive coordinator is the most important position.
Yeah.
You don't agree?
No, I don't. And I guess, first of all, what a strange, I've never been through anything like this where you're hiring coaches and you're talking about games left to be played. Usually that happens after the season's over. So in a way, it feels like the season is kind of over right now, but it's clearly not. So it's kind of wild and wacky. We'll see what happens the next 2 games. I think if I had to rank the hires, I would put offensive line at the top. So I respectfully disagree with the head coach whose job it is to do all this. My thinking here is simply, if you can't block, it doesn't matter what kind of play you're going to call, because it's not going to work. So offensive line needs to be the best hire he makes. I'll put it that way. Most important, whatever, it needs to be the best hire. The offensive line needs to be clicking next year, and it needs to be very good, and it needs to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do, which I hope might be running the ball more. We'll see. But especially if he thinks he's going to try to run the ball more next year, offensive line has got to be there. So call your cell phone out. You know, my phone in my pocket will get it out. Call Herb Hand. He's at UCF. He's a legend. He'll come. Throw some money at him. He'll come. John Garrison, maybe, the old Husker.
North Carolina State.
Yeah, he was here with Barney Cotton, went to Vegas. He's a good guy to get. There are others. That's a big hire, Sam.
So in 2003, Frank Solich got Barney Cotton as his offensive coordinator. He got an offensive line coach as his OC. When in 2011, when Bo basically got rid of Sean Watson, he didn't. He went with a running backs coach in Tim Beck. Do you think you can get a coordinator line combo where maybe you can knock out 2 spots with one coach? Maybe, and that's not a bad way to go, because throughout history, the line coaches and the coordinators often butt heads. That's right. Yeah.
So, but I mean, what does Scott want to do? And that's the first thing. Is hiring any coach. What does he want to run next year? What is his personnel going to be? They don't know that yet. I talked about running back today, who's not going to be there anymore. The door is, as soon as that Iowa game's over, it's going to be a train station around here, I think. There's going to be people leaving and people coming. And that'll be very interesting.
It will. There's a bunch of juniors that have made decisions. They got an extra year because of COVID. Martinez is one of them. Martinez did not commit to anything today. Austin Allen didn't commit to anything today. The running back he's talking about is Savion Morrison, who actually had some moments this season, but quit, left the team. That's kind of what he said. I want to talk to you real quick about basketball. So Nebraska's playing Creighton tomorrow night, and then the women play the following evening. So the Husker men playing tomorrow night against Creighton. Creighton has won most of these. I don't know, 8 of the last 9. Some exorbitant number. It's been a while since Nebraska's won a bunch in this series in a row. It feels like an early big moment for Fred Hoiberg and company, doesn't it?
It does, especially this season. I saw Creighton in their opener, and I saw Nebraska in their first exhibition game, and I can say without any hesitation, this will be the most talent on the floor for a Nebraska Creighton game that I've ever seen. And you probably go back into the 80s or 70s. I don't think Nebraska had that much talent back then. No. I think this is probably the best collection of talent on the floor that's ever happened in this series. But they don't know where to go. They all need a roadmap. Who to throw the ball to. Who's supposed to be here, who's supposed to be there, who's going to rebound, who's going to run, who's your defensive guy, who locks up, who's going to be on McGowan's. Creighton doesn't know. It's going to be interesting to see, most of all, who can make shots.
Yeah.
I based on the first few games, I'd say first team to 50 wins. Now the other night in Nebraska, I was out of town following that game on my phone, and I was thinking, oh no, Sam Houston State's no, don't do it. And then they slowly caught up. By halftime, they were down 4-5, and they caught them and they went ahead, and so they crossed 50 points to win. Thank you, but I mean, these teams are very talented, but they're not sure of themselves. They don't know who they're playing with yet. It's going to be wild, but I think it does mean a lot. It means a lot to Creighton. It's their fans' big game, and especially in a year where you don't know what tournament you're going to end up in,
right.
If any tournament. This is going to be, you want to be able to say you won this game.
Yeah, that's a really good point. 2 freshmen to watch. Bryce McGowan's for Nebraska. He was Big Ten Freshman of the Week. And Nemhard for Creighton. I'll tell you what, of all the freshmen I've seen so far, he's probably the most impressive one that I've seen. Yeah. Between the two teams, Nemhard as a point guard, my goodness, he's been really, really good in a short amount of time. But Bryce McGowan scored 25 and 29 in his first 2 games. That's pretty good.
It's 2 coaches who love offense, who love to push the envelope on offense and do things that have never been done and try things that have never been tried. And they've got a whole bunch of toys that they've just unwrapped. So, if you get a chance to go to this game, go watch it on TV. It's going to be fun.
Tom will be at that game. He's going to write a column from it. And we'll have, obviously, coverage all this week of Nebraska and Wisconsin. We'll both be in Madison for the Huskers and the Badgers. Maybe Nebraska can beat Wisconsin for the first time since 2012. For Tom Shatel, I'm Sam McKewon. This is Tom Shatel's Press Pass on the Omaha World-Herald, omaha.com, and huskerextra.com. Thanks.